Hello everyone. This is my attic. I'm showing you this because many of you have expressed interest in my home. It is 100 years old. So I was just going to show you the renovation of it. These two first photographs I'm showing you are more of the finished end of things. But I want to begin with the beginning. This is what it looked like when we got up there. Lath and plaster walls. Some parts of the wall were coming down already on its own, and it was covered with cardboard and newspapers and things to keep the draft and the heat out. It's very hot in the attic. Here's one of the dormers with the heating duct running through it on one end of the room. And as you can see that my husband is starting to tear down the walls, and underneath is the lath and plaster. Crazy corner over there. This is the way it looks when you've torn away the wall and the lath and plaster. Very hot back in there. And inside there is where we're keeping that for storage back in there. But you can see the lath and plaster. Bits and pieces of cement still in between the slats of wood, which I saved a lot of the oak slats for other things. My husband, after he got through cleaning out the bat guano and the soot from old fires, coal fires that were in this 100-year-old house, he wore protective gear, and I was glad because bat guano can poison you in your system. So he was careful, and I was proud of him for that, but what a dirty job. The bat guano was back inside those walls, like by where the window is. You can see the window there. Down below the floorboards were about 2 or 3 feet full of bat guano. And it just seemed like it was never going to end. But he finally got all the walls down and the soot and crap cleaned out. And this is now when he's starting to fit the drywall up into the ceiling and the insulation is going in. Very excited about that we were, but he was very frustrated with the angles because this house has settled so much over 100 years' time. So, but he managed pretty well. But here's a shot of the crazy corner angles above the door there to the left. And my sister came and joined the team in order to straighten that mess out because my husband was frustrated as heck by then. So she joined the forces and got this pretty well patched up there above the door to the left. That's our main entrance into the storage area of this attic. So this is, my sister is showing me how to put up mud. This is called drywall mud, and we're adding texture to the walls. And she just kind of taps at it with her fingertips, and we both did that forever. And my husband coming behind us, flattening out those bumps of texture, which then gives it a very cool design. My sister did as much, well, way more actually than my husband did on the texture with the putty knife, drywall. And here's a illustration of the 3 stages where we're actually putting up the putty. The second stage is where it's kind of flattened out, and then the third stage is where we had already finished and I had painted. But those are, well, there's actually 4 stages you can see there of the whole process of texturing walls. Okay, so we got the opening and we've taken the old plywood board off of there to start getting ready to make or place a door on there. We had to find one that was already made and thick enough to put over that entrance that wouldn't look too funny. So we went to a secondhand store and found an old door. My sister is actually the one cutting into this and shortening it for the project, and I'm just helping her by holding the light. And there we have it. I think she did an excellent job hanging that door. Just took off the top part and it looks a little bit funky, but I like it pretty well. Here we can see it more from a distance, but there's not much to it. This is a light fixture that my husband hung for me. I saved that fixture from my old gift shop from years ago. Kept hanging on to it, thinking I'll use it someday. And finally, it looked good to me in this context. There was no other place I could hang it in my house that I liked, but this was perfect. It looks rather antiquish and old, but it's a reproduction of some old lamp. Thank you, hubby, for hanging that for me. These stairs, also 100 years old, the original staircase going up to the attic. Filthy, dirty after all that work, plus it was already just old and filthy from years of use. You can see on the either end of the stairs how dark and sooty and worn that these stairs were from years of use. Those walls there are finished now too. Alright, so here I am the one who is scrubbing the floors, and you can see the before and after on either side of that middle patch. Everything was so dusty, sooty, dirty. My water was black. Here I am, just proving with a selfie that I actually really did help with this project quite a bit. But my husband and my sister did the majority of the work. Okay, so here I'm done. Everything's washed. Some stains could not be removed. My extra kitty decided to join me up there, and many times actually my cats came up to see what was going on. Okay, so I got in there and varnished the whole thing. Varathane is what we used. it darkened the wood considerably, and I loved that effect. Here my husband is helping me with the tail end of this job since I was just at the end of my rope. You can see that there are still some stains on the floor, but we left it because it had character. Bottom of the stairs now finished. A certain kind of light makes it look a little red here, but sometimes it looks red, sometimes it looks brown. But this is the landing before it turns the corner. Okay, so this is how the stairs look today. We put on some stair treads to keep my daughter safe as she runs up and down those stairs now. I thought those were kind of neat. I got them from Amazon. And this is a view of the floor after I just finished it. I thought it turned out real nice, keeping the marks and scars and stuff from the way it was. We didn't want to lose the originality of these floors. Okay, this is the picture I showed you at the beginning of the dormer that faces the backyard to let you know what it looks like now and remind you of what it looked like then. And this is what it looks like now. Well, not this very day. I've done some things since here, but close enough so you can see that we kept the original shapes and sizes of the room. Wanted to keep everything original, and have since I fixed up those walls down the stairway. This is the view across the stairwell. I picked up a 1920s bed from an antique store and a 1920s waterfall closet there too. They're called wardrobes, actually. And this bed, it's very modern day bed, but I wanted to be ready as quickly as possible for guests if they came, or my family coming to visit, and I thought it was kind of cute. Yeah, so I have since filled my whole entire stair railing with quilts. Yeah, there's the before picture of the dormer towards the front street. Used to have that heating vent duct there, and my husband covered it up with a seat for me. So now I have a window seat, and it's a great little corner nook for reading and enjoying. My attic is heaven for me. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next video.